She has some great photos today, so store that.
Okay, good morning all.
Good morning!
Good morning.
Good morning.
Allow me to compliment you and congratulate you on the stand you're taking. I understand you're part of the 99%. The stand is a brave one. And hello, lady. Brian, come through, please. Okay. Right. The stand is a brave one, and it's spread throughout the world. The whole world knows about you, and the whole world respects you for your stand you've taken, the courage you've shown, the resilience you've shown, your peaceful protest, your resilience, and your dignity. So I compliment you on all of those things. I think you're a wonderful, wonderful crowd. You know, we had the same in South Africa when we had apartheid. We too protested in this way, we too protested in that way, etc. In many ways we protested. And the people of the USA, the people of the world came to our assistance. All of you had come to our assistance, you know, the apartheid regime. Some of you were too young, but your parents did, your grandparents did, your great-grandparents did, and that young lady did. And so we are deeply indebted to the world. In New Zealand, people were fighting. Here in USA, people were going to jail on our behalf. People were marching. People protesting like you're protesting now. And you know, in New Zealand, people were fighting on the rugby fields to help us in their stand to prevent the Springboks from playing there. In Britain, people were also helping us. And the Defence and Aid Fund gave us millions of pounds over time. Today, South Africa is the economic engine of Africa. Thanks to all of you. All of you contributed to that. All of you gave us our freedom. All of you helped us to get where we are today. And I say thank you to all of you. Thank you for your contributions over time. Our struggle took hundreds of years. And but when the world came to our assistance, they put us where we are today. So I say thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You did the hard work. You did the hard work.
No, you gave us the support. Yeah. I tell you, you know, during sanctions, there was no ships on our seas. There was no boats in our harbors. Thanks to all of you. So I was born very poor area. And I worked at various jobs going through. And eventually I came back as a photographer to my country, South Africa. Because of my poor education, I went from pillar to post trying to improve my my position. I was on the factories, I was on the printing works, I was on the fishing trawlers, I was on the whalers, I went to the Antarctic, I was in the diamond mines, and I was a photographer. I came back to South Africa to be a photographer. And there, young ladies and gentlemen, I was a photographer, people needed photographs. 55, 56, the government passed a law. Everybody must have an ID document. And then the so-called fair colored people came to me and asked me to make their photos fair, so they could be white. Africans came to me and said, please make my photos fair so that I can be so-called colored. Now these requests may seem very futile to you, foolish to you. You're staying in this healthy environment. But to those people it was very, very important. When you were a white South African during the apartheid era, You were the most privileged citizen in all the world. All the world. You had everything at your disposal, everything of the best. And if you were a so-called colored citizen, you could remain in the urban area. You could have your children in the urban area. You could work in the urban area. But if you were an African, you had to carry the pass. Pass is a cruel document where Africans were not allowed to be in the urban areas. And to be in the urban areas, you had to have permission, legal permission from the government. The government had created 10 states, Bantustans, states within South Africa, one for each tribe. And these states, or so-called states and so-called citizens, they were too small to accommodate all their citizens. So people were illegal whether they wanted to be illegal. And when the men were illegal in the urban areas, they worked there, they needed money desperately, they were very, very poor. So they would, in the night they would go and sleep in the forests. And their wives and babies who were also in the urban areas, also illegally, they too would go sleep in the forests. And when the babies cry, the other men chase the ladies away and say, go away with your babies. Your babies are going to draw the police to us. And the ladies go into the night carrying the danger with them. Ladies are very brave. They are very brave, very resilient. I have a great respect for them. In my book, I have a chapter called There and Back, titled There and Back. Titled a tribute to the ladies in the women in the struggle. And there I state, men's deeds are often acknowledged. Ladies' deeds are often overlooked. So I took umbrage at this in the rural areas. Legally, the men would sign contracts, 12 months, they're going to work in the mines, they're going to work on the farms, 12 months. And for 12 months, their wives are widows. And for 12 months, the children are fatherless. And they come back for a week or two, and they sign up another contract. And again, for 12 months, the wives are widows, and again the children are fatherless. Over and over, every year, the wives live without their husbands, the children live without their fathers. I took exception to this umbrage, and I joined an organization called the Liberal Party of South Africa. They were non-racial. That's what I am. I'm a non-racialist. I see people, I don't see color. So, we as members of the Liberal Party, we tried in a small way to bring about changes. We invaded white tea rooms, we invaded white swimming pools, we invaded white parks, etc. We got beaten up, we got chucked out, we got arrested. So some of us thought we're getting nowhere fast. And we decided to form a sabotage group. And we called ourselves the African Resistance Movement. We stole explosives from the gold mines. We had an ex-British paratrooper with us, and he taught us to make bombs. And we blew up the pylons, the power lines, as you call them. And we blew up the signal cables of the railways. We brought the factories to a standstill. We brought the trains to a standstill. And we had a good run, you know. We were amateurs fighting professionals. We lasted for 3 years, from 61 to 64, when the security police threw countrywide raids, and among the people they searched that particular night was one of our key members, and he was arrested. Unfortunately, he wrote a book called Granta. His article is published in a magazine called Granta, a British academic magazine. And there he says, I name names. He was trying to face his devils because he couldn't live with himself. He was taken right around the country to give evidence among all the trials which the ARA was involved in. It was unfortunate. So I was taken in on the 2 days after this guy was arrested. And you're taken in under 90 days, you're excommunicado, you're thrown into a cell, and that's where you stay. No one knows you are there. And when they took me in, they beat me up and then threw me into a cell. And I was placed under 90-day detention law. 90-day detention law, meaning that the security police can hold you for 90 days. And after 90 days has expired, they can hold you for another 90 days, and another 90 days, and another forever and ever. Amen. So I was put under 90 days. And there, under 90 days, you were tortured, and people died. So I was interrogated over and over and over, and I was also asked to be state witness for the state on 3 occasions. Now, this chap, his name is Adrian Lethbridge. I can tell you about him. Today he's a senior lecturer at Leeds University in Britain. He had, as I said, given evidence. When I was released from prison, he wrote to me and he said, Eddie, you can always walk around with the head held high. I'll always walk around with shame. And I wrote to him and I told him that I forgave him. And I told him that, you know, it was tough times. We all faced the death penalty. And he thought this is the best way out. But he is still living he's still suffering from revealing people's names, etc. And I feel sorry for him because, you know, every little incident reminds him of those particular days, and again he's haunted by or tormented by his thoughts. I told him I was coming to England in September that year, 2004, and he also wrote this article, Granta, in Granta in 2004. It's the first story there in that particular edition. I think it was 2004. So if you look it up in Google, you may be able to find it. And so he asked me, he said, you're coming to England, will you come and see me? Will you have lunch with me? Will you meet me? And so I said I would. And when I told my fellow members of my organization that I want to meet Adrian Lethbridge, they attacked me, they condemned me, they criticized me, they said, how can you go meet this guy sold us out. So I explained, I said, you know, this happened 40 years ago, why must we continually keep our neck on this, persecuting. And then they insisted in criticizing me, and I said, you know, that when he was in the witness box and we were in the dock, he was the victor, we were the victims. Today we are the victors and he is the victim. Like you're standing here.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next year something, you'll be the victors.
Right.
You'll be the victors. You look back at this, at your own particular struggle, and you'll see that you can be proud of yourself. Because let other people laugh at you, let other people spit on you, let them. But you can look at yourself in the mirror and look yourself in the eye. You can build up your self-respect. Self-respect is so important. I fought for my self-respect.
All right. Yeah.